please, everyone. We have a pretty packed agenda, but my main motivation is so that we can get to the goodies at the end of this meeting. Because I do want to remind everyone that this being our Christmas meeting, we have goodies, and we actually have a lot of goodies. So stick around. So the first thing I want to say is that we are being videotaped, and Matt Conti is doing that. Any other members of the press? Obviously, Phil is here. Any other press folks? No. Do we have any of our beloved politicians or representatives here to announce themselves and tell us if they have anything to say? No? Really? We were forgotten? So let's get into it. I'm going to keep the President's report pretty brief. One thing I want to make sure that everyone is aware of is that we have made some enhancements to the NEWRA.org website so that everyone can pull down the documents that we're going to discuss for the ZLC discussion before the meeting. So, oftentimes people come into the meetings and, Dan has to try to show everyone like what the building blueprint looks like for the first time, and there's a lot of discussion on that. So now we'll have the opportunity, everyone will have the opportunity, if you have a computer, to download and print it out, look at it on the screen, if you're so inclined. And if people find that to be a good enhancement, please let us know, because we'll keep making them. If you think, why bother, then I'll make sure we stop making such enhancements. The second thing that I wanted to say is that since this is the last meeting of the year, and we're going to be looking at membership, we're a sort of a January to December membership organization. A reminder to everyone that we would like everyone to renew their memberships. And you can see Mary, in any of the this meeting, next meeting, or whatever. So we want to encourage renewals. But I did want to issue a challenge to everyone, a challenge. And that is that it would be great if everyone who's a member could find a buddy and get them to be a member. And you'll get extra bonus points if that buddy is less than 30 years old. Not that we're particularly not 5 or 6 though, please. But I'm not trying to insinuate that we're an old group. The average age of the guys might be high, but I know the average age of the ladies is certainly not over 40. So but I think it will be nice if we could get some new members, and particularly some younger members who might be interested in doing some volunteer activities. I know that Robin is trying to repopulate the parks group, and we're really looking for some volunteers who might be interested in doing that. And I know that Victor is always very busy with ZLC stuff, and we're looking for volunteers who might be willing to sit in the ZLC committee and look at all these many proposals and other things that are in the committee. So that's the challenge, and we appreciate your efforts there. And the last thing that I want to say is there's a lot of things on our agenda, but there's a lot of buzz in the neighborhood on other issues. Some issues that are sort of waving maybe a little bit beyond our neighborhood, but certainly affect the neighborhood. One of those, most of these issues have to do with big buildings. I know that some of you have been to Parcel 9 meetings. One such project is the Chafaro Towers, or the Two Towers, as J.R.R. Tolkien would call them. The Chafaro folks have not, it's not really a North End issue per se, but Phil Frateroli and Munich and NEWRA will host a joint meeting and have a presentation and hopefully a point-counterpoint discussion so that we can see, like, well, okay, here's the project and here are the benefits. We're gonna try to set that up. We're tentatively talking about January 29th, and it's going to be not in one of the regular meetings of either group, but in a special meeting. So please pencil that into your agenda, and we'll get you more info as we have it. So that's all I have for the President's report, and can I turn it over to membership for a probably a reiteration of what I said.
Just to remind everyone that it is time to renew, and many of you have tonight, and many of you also made a donation when you did that, and that's most appreciated. And we also have some new members tonight, and I'd like to welcome them, and especially because, you know, the character of the neighborhood is such that we've been losing some long-time residents, and so we're happy to have new members and very enthusiastic about your participation. So again, welcome, and anybody who hasn't renewed yet, I've got some forms here, so thank you.
Victor.
Thanks.
CLC.
The first and most important CLC item is the former co-chair, Dave Kubiak, who is not here. Is not here because he is being, at this very moment, inducted as an honorary member of the West End Civic Association. So I said, does that need another committee? And he said, well, yeah, maybe it does. So anyway, he expects to be here after his induction. West End Civic Association, yes. The usual pattern of the ZLC report is past ZLC meetings, the ZLC meetings to come, and other interesting ZLC items. I'm shouting because last month I was told that you couldn't hear me over there. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, I'll continue to shout. At the past ZLC meeting, we had the two items that are now on the agenda, 102 to 104 Prince and 16 to 18 Battery. I received a phone call from an abutter of 102, 104 Prince, who asked whether the Airbnb or short-term rentals would be something permitted in that building as the change is executed. So I checked the zoning. It is in a multifamily residential zone. In that zone, a bed and breakfast is allowed. A conference center is forbidden. Executive suites are a conditional use. Hotel is forbidden and motel is forbidden. So I think most of us know that the issue of Airbnb is in the air now, if you'll pardon it. Our Councilor Salamantina has filed an order for a hearing. The hearing may be in December. If not, it will be in January, when you will have to refile, but I've been told that will happen. And the issue of Airbnb will be aired. It seems to me, and this is speaking off the cuff, and I'm sure there are those who will disagree with the attorneys, undoubtedly, but it seems to me that either the Airbnb, the short-term rental issue, is an executive suite item. If so, it's a conditional use, and the person wishing to do so would have to come before the community for support or opposition. If it's not, and if it's something other than executive suite, then it is forbidden. It is not mentioned in the zoning code. It is forbidden, and a person wishing to open a short-term rental would have to come to the community seeking a variance. If they don't, then whatever the enforcement arm of ISD is should come into play, and that I will leave for others to pursue. The next item is the 16 to 18 Battery Street, which is on the agenda also. I don't think I have anything to add to that. To come, I don't have anything on the next ZLC agenda meeting, which is, I don't know when it is. We have December's on the
16th, Victor. December 16th.
Yeah, December 16th. December 16th. However, there has been spoken in the North End that the parking lot on Commercial Street next to the Langone Funeral Home, that there is going to be a proposal to build a residential building there. That the building will have 36 units. and be 55 feet tall, which is the height of the maximum height of the zoning for the north end. The other thing that I usually mention is what we've done in the past year, since the December 12, 2013 meeting. We wrote 12 letters in support, actually, of the application. 2 of those were 2 votes, one of them support and the other one opposition. We wrote 9 letters of no objection, and we wrote 4 letters of opposition, so we wrote 25 letters all told. And the only final thing I would add is Parcel 9, which is a construction issue. If you would like me to address it now, or if you'd like me to wait until later, I will do as you wish.
Why don't you do it now?
Okay.
Yeah.
Parcel 9.
But before you start, I just want to say Nicole Leo has entered the room from the mayor's office. I just want to make sure that she didn't escape announcements.
So just to let you know that the dog park at the Gassy has gone before the Parks Commission and it was approved. So the pilot will start May 1st.
Well, the Parcel 9 is the so-called Greenway parcel, but it's not part of the Greenway. It's the parcel where the Haymarket Pushcart Association stores its gear in between the weekends. And it's owned by the Mass Department of Transportation, and they decided 5, 6, 7 years ago that it should be developed, but in a way that preserved the pushcarts. So there was an invitation to bid. There were 4 bids received, all of which were rejected. Then there were further meetings, deliberations. I was on the advisory committee. The meetings went on for 3 or 4 years. We very diligently analyzed the situation with the help and the agreement of Mass DOT. And the final result was a suggestion which was brought to the community, and the community approved it, to have, oh, by the way, it's a 55-foot height limit on Parcel 9, but to have a higher building on the corner near the Bostonian Hotel and the parking garage, because the economics required something large to support a low 1-story building. If you're standing, let's say, at Hanover Street, you would be on your right. 1 story to preserve views to the ancient streets behind Blackstone Street, which are a National Historic Register area as well as a city landmark area. The Mass DOT agreed with that. They published their request for proposals, which included that as a specification, that you had to have a low building there to preserve views. The bidder, there were 2 bidders on that second round. The bidder who eventually won the bid had a 1-story building, and his hotel building was 84 feet, the building on the corner. His market hall was 20 feet, and I have something that I think is particularly pertinent, which is a brochure that he circulated in the North End, which says, please send a support letter or email by April 4th. And he says his project is better for the neighborhood because his building height is 84 feet, his competitor is 104, his low section is 20 feet, his competitor is 44 feet. His second floor bars and restaurants, 0 in his proposal, and because the competitor had put a second floor in their proposal, and there were going to be 500 restaurant seats. He was awarded the bid. Incredibly, after the award, he has now changed his proposal. His is exactly what his competitor was. He is now adding a second story to what was supposed to be a low building, and he's added 20 feet to his hotel building from 84 feet to 103 feet. I have written letters. I have complained. I have emailed. I don't know whether they're going on deaf ears. I hope not. The Boston Civic Design Commission approved the changed design. One of the members suggested, oh, and I raised the issue of the integrity of the competitive bidding process. One of the members of the design commission questioned whether they had jurisdiction to consider the competitive bidding process. So maybe we have a foot in the door there, that it's still open. But where does it stand? I don't know. But I hope there will be another BRA meeting, and I hope at that meeting as many people as possible will come and say a bidder can't do that.
Can I ask you a question, Victor?
Sure.
So this is a is this a PDA?
Yes, they are applying for a PDA.
PDA, and can you define PDA for?
Well, it's a planned development area which, if approved, supersedes zoning. So the 55-foot zoning goes out, and it just approves everything they plan to do.
One of the issues that we keep running into, and we run into in Shafaro, it's here, it's Government Center, other places, is the so-called Article 80 part of the BRA code, which basically says and the ISD inspector came a couple of weeks ago and told us there's the small projects that go through the Zoning Board of Appeals, then there are the larger projects that go through this different process. And if you get designated a PDA, all rules are thrown out, and you have a new set of rules, which oftentimes, at least to my lay eye, because I don't understand such things, they don't seem to be defined until the 11th hour, oftentimes, and I think this is another example of that. So, I mean, I think we should talk about Parcel 9 specifically, but I also think this whole Article 80 thing, it might be something whose time has come and gone. And we may want to be, with other neighborhood associations, lobbying heavily to get rid of it, because it's just sort of a bizarro world that anyone can enter with enough money and throw all the rules out. And we're sort of sick of it.
I pointed out that, I agree with what you're saying. I pointed out that there is a big difference here between the usual Article 80 review process, where a developer who owns property comes in and says, well, I think I'd like to do this with my property. Then partway through, he says, no, I have some better ideas, I want to change it. But he owns or controls it. This is something that was awarded on the basis of competitive bids by Mass DOT. He doesn't even own the property. He is negotiating a long-term lease with Mass DOT. And I've tried to get Mass DOT into the act and ask them whether they will look at the integrity of their public bidding process, but I have not received an answer.
Wait until Jesse comes and tells us fun Mass DOT stories for the Greenwood.
That's all I have to say about Parcel. Well, actually, I have much more to say about Parcel 9. That's all I have to say tonight.
Thanks for very much. Well, that was exciting. Super. And actually, Nicole, can I ask you one question about Parcel 9? I think because there's no operative neighborhood association there, historically, sometimes and NEWRA has been asked to speak or to vote or at least weigh in on things like that. Is ONS at all involved in what's going on in Parcel 9, or are you guys out of it too now that it's a PDA?
I go to the meetings with them. They haven't been officially designated PDA yet, right?
I guess so.
They have or they have not?
But they have not.
Yeah,
I've
they
not
haven't
been told that
as
they
far
have.
as I know.
Okay.
I can check with Chris Tracy tomorrow, who's stepping into cases with the project manager, and it's just trying to get the status on it.
Yeah. Well,
But we do ask them to go to the community.
Okay.
To meet, just let you know what's going on.
Sure. Mary.
Yeah, I have a question for Nicole as well. This actually relates to the meeting where we considered the matter of the restaurant that was proposed for next to Ronald Florist. And it's my understanding that this organization really overwhelmingly voted against it, but it's my understanding that the mayor's office in fact did support that. And I just wanted to ask the reasons for the support.
We had a number of letters of support from abutters directly next to them, so we felt as though the use and the letters combined with some of the support.
Great. Thank you for that. And I think we're seeing how close to us on schedule. We're just a little bit behind schedule. So, there's a question from Bob Minuti.
I gotta get back to you, Victor. My biggest fear on the Greenway is the opposite side of the north end. If they want to go as high as they can, all the way down the line, and if they get that first 85 or 100-foot building, then you're gonna see 100-feet buildings all the way down the line. And maybe on Cross Street on this side. So be careful, if we don't fight this now, we're gonna regret it 10 years from now.
Bob, are you talking about on the Greenway or across the street from the Greenway?
Well, on the sides of the Greenway. On
There's no
the,
55-foot rule in there at all.
I know that.
Well, yes.
No,
There is.
Parcel 9 was 55 feet.
55 feet, parcel 9.
Yes.
How about the other side of that street?
No. Further down, yeah, further down, there's no restrictions. But if the BRA opens that door, you're gonna see it on the other side of Cross Street.
Even the Trafaro Towers are stepped, the actual Greenway guidelines suggest that you can go 200 feet at the street, but the closer you get to the water, you have to step down to 55 feet. So if you built to the zoning guidelines as determined by this relatively recent Greenway guideline document, you would have a stair-step building, but all you need to do is get designated a PDA and you can go and build the tallest building in Boston if you want to. And that's sort of the issue that we're running into, because there are a lot of these Article 80 projects popping up around the Greenway. And if you have 5, 6 of them, you're going to have, I think your point is correct. I mean, people are going to say, well, why is it that I have to stay at 55 feet? And you'll have a lot of pressure to go up. And I think there's a discussion we need to have. Do we want these high buildings on the Greenway, or don't we? I mean, you know, it's sort of nice to have view corridors to the Zakim Bridge and to the water, and if we give them up, we should be doing that knowing that we're making a choice.